Now I'm going to flip over and create a service profile. I'm going to use the Create Service Profile Expert and Leapcast Test. I'm not too worried about those for now. I'm not too worried about storage. I'll leave those at the default. The networking is a bit we're interested in. I'm going to switch to expert mode and I'm going to add a VNIC. So I've got connectivity templates already made. Just wait for that to populate. No, taking a little while. There we go. So there's my premium data. I'm going to keep the naming convention consistent. Premium data. Adapter policy, I'm going to use my VMware adapter policy. Okay, I'm going to add another one. Again, I'm going to use my templates and I'm going to call that standard data. There we go. Select my standard data template and my VMware adapter policy. Okay, and I'm going to use time vMotion. Okay, use my vMotion and my VMware adapter policies. And finally, my last one is going to be Service Console. Just wait for that to update. There we go. Service Console. And, well, there we go. It just takes a little time. It's loading all the way over from Belgium. Internet must be a little bit slower today. There we go. So I've now got the service profile, which eventually I'm going to attach to a physical blade to create a server. That server will then have 4 NICs that go through the system and get these quas policies applied as you've built. I'm going to just skip through the rest of these because they're not relevant for this particular Leapcast. So assignment, I'll choose to assign later. Okay, and next. Yes, I'm going to create that now. There we go. So there's my service profile LC test created, and you'll see we've got those VNICs with access to the VLANs that we set up earlier and applied to the correct quas policy. Now, to install VMware on this server is going to take half an hour or so, which we don't really have time to do. So what I've got here is a service profile running ESX server that I created earlier. So we've got our premium data, standard data, service console, and our vMotion. And again, they've got the same quas policies applied. I built this in exactly the same way. So what I wanted to do now was just head over to VMware vCenter, where we can see that in action. Now, this is the host, and if we go over to the VMware Configuration tab and take a look at the network adapters, you'll see that there's 6 network adapters on there, and you'll see I've actually got 6 network adapters here. I had a couple in already just for running the example. Now, unfortunately, these names don't propagate up through to vCenter, so to identify the individual network interface cards, we need to use the MAC addresses. But on this tab here, that's all very simple, and with 6 NICs, it's not too difficult. But then if we switch over to the networking tab, and we can actually have a look at this in action here, and it's here we go. So this is my VMNIC2 that was my NIC that's assigned to the vMotion policy. and there you'll see it's set to vMotion. I've got this tagging with VLAN ID number 78, and that's the reason I didn't choose it as a native VLAN. It's purely from an admin point of view that I want to see in vCenter which VLAN a particular service console or vSwitch is connected to. If I'd have checked that to native, we wouldn't see that VLAN ID in there, and it's just handy information to have through. Here, SD is my standard data, so what I've got plugged in there is, here's a virtual machine that it's just a file server, and I'm considering that as standard data traffic, and here's a couple of the VLANs that we've allowed through, the DHCP ranges and this host range 1 going through the system there. Down here I've got my premium data, and you'll see I've got a Citrix server in there. I'm classifying that in this particular example as a premium data service requirement for Citrix. And here we've got the sort of simulated service console that's connected through the other NICs. So there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4 NICs that are connecting through to the system there. So hopefully that was useful and informative for everybody. Please join me on the 19th of January at 10 GMT for the next Leapcast, which we're going to be looking at advanced LAN and networking, where we'll take a look at VNLink in software with the Nexus 1000V and VNLink in hardware with the Cisco VIC virtual interface card. Thank you very much.